Preseason Game 2 is in the books for the Cincinnati Bengals, and after a couple days in Chicago that featured a joint practice with the Bears on Thursday, the Bengals are headed back to Cincinnati for their final week of the preseason. On Tuesday, they have a joint practice against the Indianapolis Colts and play Thursday night at Paycor Stadium to wrap up the preseason. So let's talk about today's preseason game and some of the biggest takeaways. I'll start with the defense. The Bears decided to play their starters in the first half, so we got to look at Cincinnati's defense against an exciting offense, an offense that has a lot of hype around it right now, and that is Chicago's offense because of #1 overall pick Caleb Williams. And against Cincinnati's starting defense, which was the twos, because Zach Taylor said heading into the game that the starters weren't going to play. Dax Hill and DJ Turner were the only two players who are starters that did play, but they only played a limited series right at the start of the game, so it was really hard to get a good look at who's going to win that battle opposite of Cam Taylor-Britt. So neither one in between Dax Hill and DJ Turner really separated themselves today, but it was still good to see Cincinnati's defense force 3 back-to-back 3-and-outs against that starting Bears offense. And following the game, head coach Zach Taylor said he was really pleased with the performance of his defense in that first quarter specifically. Some other big takeaways on defense: Josh Newton made a couple of splash plays in coverage. It was a little bit of an up and down performance, but following the game, he took full accountability for the plays he didn't make, and he still seems to be on the rise and is definitely going to be a player that is going to make an impact for that Cincinnati secondary. And Chris Jenkins, another rookie, the Bengals' second-round pick defensive tackle, recorded his first sack of his NFL career, and it came against Caleb Williams, someone he said he's known for a long time. And he said he had a friend who passed away a year ago that was a huge Chicago Bears fan, so that sack today here in Chicago just meant a little bit more. On the other side of the ball, offensively, it was the Logan Woodside show, and you weren't really able to get a good look at what he was able to do in the passing game because of some rain conditions and just some of the available receivers that the Bengals had. As I mentioned, Taylor didn't play a lot of the players that are going to see significant playing time during the season. But the biggest takeaway from me on offense was that Jackson Carman continues to fall down the depth chart for the Cincinnati offensive line. He didn't make it into the game until the final minutes of the fourth quarter after being listed as the backup to Orlando Brown on the depth chart. So we will see where he's at, but they really wanted to get a look at a different group of offensive linemen, and Carman wasn't that today. Jermaine Burton, the Bengals wide receiver that they're very excited about from an athletic standpoint, got some work as a returner. They're going to take a look and see if he can offer them anything in the special teams game. There were 11 penalties for the Bengals today, and Zach Taylor was not pleased with that following the game. But the Bengals felt like they got a good week of work here in Chicago and head back to Cincinnati looking to put a bow on the preseason. All right, that's it for some takeaways following the game here at Soldier Field. Be sure to keep it at Cincinnati.com for all your post-game coverage of the Cincinnati Bengals.